Luxottica produces and distributes sun and prescription eyewear. So we are deviating to a more niched company here.
Yeah, but you'll see there's a nice brand crossover because it's a Milanese company started by a chap called Leonardo Del Vecchio. But in addition to owning their own branded stuff and Sunglass Hut and Ray-Ban and all of those brands themselves, they also manufacture luxury branded sunglasses for all these other stores. So if you go into an Armani store and you see sunglasses there, those are made by Luxottica, Bulgari, the same thing. So for one reason or another, people don't make their own sunglasses. They get Luxottica to do that. So it's got enormous global brand reach on account
Market
of that.
cap, $30.1 billion, PE of 32.1, dividend yield of 2.7%.
Yes. Well, I think if we look at the share graph, that'll actually give us a lot of insight into this company in terms of the fact that it is actually also not as underperformed as much as many of these companies.
So let's get that
And
share price graph.
Yeah, let's
So
have a
now what
look
we're
at
looking at there is the New York ADR, LUX Lux, which puts it in dollars, but it's all the same really.
Yes.
You can
So in euros it looks a little different, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. I think when you consider the exposure of Luxottica and where their main market is, predominantly US. So over 50% of the revenue comes from the US. So that gives them much more buoyancy in terms of income and of a vibrant consumer.
Exactly,
than
the health
rest.
of the US
Exactly.
consumer is the underpin to the
There
story.
we go. And that I think is one of the major drivers for them in this case.
Because did I mention that they own Ray-Bans earlier? Oakley
I
and
actually
Ray-Ban.
can't remember whether you did
So
or not. Did he
Ray-Ban is
mention?
very
the
strong.
most famous brand of sunglasses
Plus
in the
they own
world.
Sunglass Hut, which means they've got all the distribution of all the other brands as well, like I was mentioning.
Yeah.
So this is a stock that we should really be taking.
And of course,
taking
sunglasses
particular
is a
notice of.
really affordable entry luxury item, which is very popular in emerging markets where the sun shines a lot,
Yeah.
etc. It must, though, be said there's one potential negative with this company,
what is
that
that?
is that the old boy Leonardo Del Vecchio owns 61% of the shares. He's approaching his early 80s, and he keeps firing the CEOs.
Does he have
and
any
then
children?
coming back as he does. There's one of his kids on the board, but I don't think they're allowed to speak at board meetings.
Yeah.
He basically is the main man.
So
and
you're basically saying that we have a succession plan
we do.
issue
There was
here.
a fantastic CEO, Andrea Guerra, who left to become one of Matteo Renzi's ministers in the new Italian government. And when that happened, then we've now had a succession of what look like sort of figureheads that obviously can't take it because the old guy just won't get
So
out
how
of the
does that
engine
affect your investment decision, Mia?
Well, I think, this company is, we look at it, but it's not something that we own. I know Paul owns it, but it's a good business. I think the business model itself is very sustainable. And the fact that they've got so
Irrespective of what
Yes.
happens with Leonardo.
Eventually,
Leonardo?
I think eventually if you're a long-term shareholder in terms of Warren Buffett views of holding it forever, then that problem will go away at some stage. But
think so.
yeah, over the...
And it could actually be a positive part of a transition because,
agree.
then that stake will get, unbundled
up,
or broken
yeah.
up or split up. The liquidity will increase.
And the value unlock will come to fruition.
Yeah, and because it's got such a big US business, it'll always be looked at as a possible acquisition target if it has a period of underperformance.
Hot or not?
Well, I'll be hot on it. I think the long-term prospects and just the normal drivers at the current stage looks good.
Hot or not, Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to go hot on this one.